a very vibrant crowd to keep under control. Before we start with the panel Lebanity, we have a guest speaker, Ms. Tonya Khouri, who will be talking to us about Lebanese Americans getting involved in American politics. Will you please take the mic?
Stay here. مرحبا أنا اسمي تونيا خوري مارتولا جوزيف خوري من فرابيد لبنان أهلا وسهلا فيكم. Now full disclosure, I am not Lebanese. But Joe and I have been married for 25 years. So أنا بحب لبنان. أنا بحب لبنان يعني جوزي بحب لبنان. و بيني وبينكم أنا أمريكانية بس أنا لبنانية بقلبي. So that's my full disclosure. I am an elected official here in the United States in Illinois. So I'm going to speak very briefly on the importance of Lebanese Americans getting involved in politics here in the United States. And I'm going to give you two main reasons why we need you to get involved in politics here in the United States. The first reason is because you have a lot to offer your communities and your countries. So it depends on what you're interested in. You're interested in your children's education, run for school board. If you're interested in keeping your taxes low for your businesses, run for city council or run for county commissioner. But we need more Lebanese Americans with your talents in public office. The second reason why Lebanese Americans need to get involved in politics here in the United States is to help Lebanon. And we all know Lebanon is a small country surrounded by, let's say, unfriendly neighbors. Some are friends, some are not friends, but everyone in this room has a gift of being a United States citizen. We need to use that gift because the United States can have a profound positive effect in the region to help Lebanon. And that's happening right now with an organization called In Defense of Christians, or IDC. They are a nonprofit, thank you, nonpartisan group that advocates for Christians and minorities in the Middle East. But right now they have a focus on Lebanon and a bill calling for the security and stability of Lebanon. And part of that is removing the 1.5 million Syrian refugees and moving them into safe zones in Syria. This would benefit Lebanon enormously. But it's Lebanese people here in the United States are doing that work. So we need to support them. And I know this panel is about Lebanity. And being married for 25 years, I always have to think, what is Lebanese? And what is the security that we need to protect? And Lebanese people, I think it's clear, believe in pluralism. Lebanese people believe in giving respect to everyone. And Lebanese people believe in peace with their neighbors. But we must never give up our identity, and we must never give up our values that your parents and your grandparents have taught you. We must never sacrifice those values. So when I think of who is Lebanese, I think the world needs to know that we're staying in Lebanon. And not just staying in Lebanon. We're staying in Lebanon, yani, Rasna marfu'a, their heads held high. Because the most important thing about being Lebanese is we never kneel down. Yani nahna ma bnurka, wa Lebanon ma biyurka. Thank you.
Thank you for those very, very motivating words for Lebanese Americans to get involved in American politics for the benefit of Lebanon and the Lebanese diaspora. Now, before we start with the panel, I know how much everyone enjoys watching a video at the beginning, so we're going to start with a video, Lebanity, about the Lebanity campaign. Thank you.
I remember my grandfather's stories about Lebanon in the summer. Sunny days, warm nights, family gatherings, singing, laughing. If you are of Lebanese heritage and you live abroad anywhere in the world, you can now claim your nationality through the Lebanese Nationality program. The program is an integrated campaign launched by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Immigrants to help you find your story and claim your Lebanese nationality. Through an online platform, you will be able to check if you are eligible for the Lebanese nationality. Apply online and link with the nearest Lebanese diplomatic mission. Once your file is submitted, you will be able to track your application through a mobile app. In the meantime, relevant official entities in Lebanon will be reviewing your file, checking your descendants, issuing needed papers, and working hard to grant you your nationality. At each step of the way, you will be notified about the status of your application, working hand in hand to help you connect with your home country and preserve your heritage.
Thank you. Let me start by describing this panel. This is the final panel of the LDE, and this panel is the result of years of hard work. It's the result of years of persistence, determination, all to realize a dream that we once thought was impossible. Almost 2 years ago, this impossible became possible because of a man sitting here with us today, because of a man whose firm belief and faith in Lebanon and the Lebanese people compelled him to commit himself to serve both country and citizen. It is His Excellency, Minister Gibran Basir. Thanks to him, in the year 2015, the Lebanese government passed a law that allows for everyone of paternal Lebanese origin to reclaim the Lebanese citizenship and become rightfully Lebanese. By reclaiming the Lebanese citizenship, your voice can now be heard in Lebanon, and it can be the difference Lebanon needs. At the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our quest is to reach the biggest number of Lebanese diaspora possible. And for Minister Basir, the traditional and standard approaches do not suffice. Thanks to him, we were able to explore new methods and new ideas and new approaches which we shall begin to integrate. One of these policies that I will be announcing today is the knock on your door policy. This policy will see an employee from our diplomatic and consular missions, anywhere we are, to go knocking on Lebanese people's doors, to contact them and to inform them on the new Nationality Law 441. So there is no hiding from us. We will find you wherever you are. Our mission is to reach the greatest number of Lebanese diaspora possible, to send them a message. We want you to reconnect with your roots in Lebanon. We want you to have a voice in Lebanon. And we want you to build with us the future of our beloved country, Lebanon. We've come here to strengthen your ties with your homeland and your mother country, Lebanon, and to strengthen our ties with you. And it is this panel, Lebanity, that has become the driving force behind the LDE over the years to reach and to connect to people of Lebanese descent, wherever they may be. Now, as I said, we do enjoy video, so we're going to cut to another video before we start with the panel. Please, thank you.
Claiming back your Lebanese nationality provides you with many advantages. Own properties and capitalize on your entrepreneurial rights to establish businesses that opens you the potential of easily accessing the Arab world markets. Take advantage of your consular rights, including inheritance, legal assistance, and consular protection. Claim your social rights to free education, healthcare, and social security. Decide the future of Lebanon by exercising your political rights, such as voting or becoming a candidate for any political or administrative position. Also, you know what? Lebanon has many advantages in the world-class banking and financial system that protects confidentiality, secrecy, while strictly respecting and applying international regulations. Lebanon has a very moderate tax system that applies only to revenues generated in Lebanon. Lebanon will start producing oil and gas, opening new economic and financial horizons. Visit our website www.lebanity.gov.lb and apply now for the nationality and preserve yours and your children's rights. The Lebanese nationality. It's time to get it back.
Thank you. Let me first start by saying I'm very fortunate to be moderating this panel full of individuals that I greatly admire. We have with us on this panel Mr. Namat Frame, President of the Maronite Foundation and its affiliate, the Christian Lebanese Foundation, also known as CLFW. Dr. Ray Hashim, Professor of Medicine and a Director in the Department of Infectious Diseases, a co-inventor on several US patent medical-related inventions, President of the American Lebanese Medical Association, and he is on the board of directors of the National Apostolate of Maronites. Please welcome him. And from Montreal, we have Mr. Mark Sayali. He is the chairman of the board of the Cedars Cancer Foundation and also a director of the Bishop's University Foundation. Please welcome him. And our very special guest today, who is a delightful and charming testament to the application of the new Nationality Law 441, Mr. Siham Bazzi. Welcome. So we'll start with you, Namat Frame, if you don't mind. So you're the president of the Maronite Foundation and its affiliate, the Christian Lebanese Foundation, as I've just mentioned. What is your mission, and how do you operate around the world?
Thank you for, first of all, giving me this opportunity. Mr. Minister Basile, I'm very proud and happy to see what's happening with LDE. We have been, so this is part of the answer. We have been following and working hard on this initiative 10 years ago. And we are very happy to see where we are today. The Maronite Foundation in the world is an NGO that is consider itself a builder of bridges. Our duty, and we are very happy when we see people walking on those bridges, and happy that we see when we see those bridges growing every day. We are satisfied because we think that we are working hard behind the scenes so that these initiatives of building bridges all around the world with the motherland succeed. Even though we are named Maronite Foundation, we work on behalf and in our heart on behalf of all the Lebanese. We consider that the Lebanon that we love, the Lebanon that the Maronites worked hard to achieve in 1920 is a multicultural, multi-religious Lebanon. So every time, unlike other minorities of the Middle East, the Maronites wanted and insisted on building a multicultural, multi-religious country, because this is how we felt that the mission of the Christians of the Middle East gets achieved. This is how we achieve it. How we are working in the world, first of all, we are a lobbyist. We have a major lobbying activity that have already gave fruits. Probably one of the major fruit that we are all today working on is this 441 legislation, which, as Minister Basile, who have embraced this early on and worked very hard. And by the way, this was the first fruit of the Christians starting to get together in Lebanon, one of the major fruits. We believe that we need to improve it more. So this is why now we are embarking on a new crusade to improve it more, as Minister Basir has launched this new idea where we want to make it more efficient. So this is how we work, by lobbying hard.
Thank you. And if you don't mind me asking, where does the funding come from?
The funding, we first of all consider that the duty of every citizenship is to, when he sees something not functioning, especially a Lebanese one, should not only talk about it, but do something about it. This is why a lot of Lebanese businessmen and philanthropes decided to put of their own money so that we see change. We want the change that we want to do it ourselves. This is how we do it, by funding personally.
So we always focus on the emotional side to encourage Lebanese immigrants to reclaim their nationality, because we're talking about Lebanon. And I know from personally this is enough. But let me ask you this question. What guarantees and incentives does the Lebanese government give to immigrants to encourage them to reclaim their nationality?
Okay. First of all, we felt and we noticed that there is a discrepancy in our value proposition. It's very hard, even with our improvement of the system, even of great intentions in our diplomatic corps that is represented today by our brother and great friend here, Johnny. I guess that what's happening is that it's very hard. However, this is why we felt that what we saw today is a game changer. This incentive of funding availability at a very good rate, plus a way to where we consider that if you love your country, affecting it is very important. Affecting what you love is very important. So this is how we convince people that they should get their citizenship back.
Okay, well, what about the young generation? How do you target the young generation? How can you develop their feeling of belonging to Lebanon? And how do you nurture their patriotism towards Lebanon?
First of all, I guess we are all proud of the Lebanese. So this is why, by putting forth those successes of the Lebanese, we, I guess, bring this the love and the pride of being Lebanese. So this is how we are doing it, looking at successes all around and try to put it forth. We try to advertise as much as we can on the successes of Lebanon. And to tell you the truth, today there is a new trend and we need to enforce it. And I think this LDE will succeed in doing it more and more. The trend is called Lebanity. Minister Basir invented this. It was your invention, Minister Basir. Lebanity. I guess we haven't done enough about it. Our diplomatic corps and our business community and our universities and every single person that loves Lebanon should talk today about Lebanity. Lebanity, in all fairness, what is Liz? Lebanity does not mean those 5 things. Lebanity should not mean those 5 things. Because those 5 things, the fruit of those 5 things is the mess that we are seeing in Lebanon. No, Lebanity means management of diversity. Lebanity means management of complexity, of paradoxes. Lebanity should mean professionalism, precision. This is what Lebanity should mean. Commitment. This is why. This is why www.lebanity.gov.lb should be the start of your reunion between the children of Lebanon and Lebanon. Please, every single person that tells you, I love Lebanon and, I'm thinking of getting my citizenship, or when you knock on this door, Minister Basir, and with your new initiative, and I'm sure the first thing that they will be saying, guys, okay, if you like what we are saying, go to www.lebanity.gov.lb, and this is where everything should be materialized in a process.
So everyone memorize the website, www.Lebanity.
And I noticed, by the way, I didn't see it
Gov
anywhere
dot
in
LB,
this
of course.
convention. And it should be everywhere.
Yes.
I hope next time.
Well, does your foundation collaborate and coordinate efforts with the Lebanese diplomatic and consular missions in helping the diaspora reacquire their Lebanese nationality and reconnect with Lebanon in certain ways? Is there any collaborating and coordinating efforts?
Akid, first of all, we are an NGO, so we are not the official representative of this initiative. All what we do is give a helping hand to the main responsible of this initiative, which is the diplomatic corps. So, as an NGO, we help when asked. We help when we see that there is a gap that is that should be covered. We believe fundamentally in our DNA that the public-private partnership is the source of success everywhere in the world. How come when you have a country called Lebanon and its citizen called Lebanese? It's really, Lebanese are so successful, the public sector of Lebanon is always open to their help. So this is how we do.
Okay, and I've noticed in the exhibition hall room a booth about Project Roots. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, Project Root was the incubator, was the genesis of this whole initiative called Reconnecting with Lebanon. It was started, where is Father Zaidan? He left probably? Abdullah Zaidan. At that time he was father and now he's a bishop. So that started around 10 years ago, and or even more. And today it's embedded in many initiatives of the sort. One of them is probably Lebanity indirectly.
Yes, and I also saw brochures to encourage Lebanese people to register their marriage, register their children, and the benefits that would give to them in the future. And so, let me ask you, the diaspora institutions, do they work together to achieve like a common goal, a common national goal? And say, for example, do you work with St. Jude, or is there like other plans to work with different diaspora institutions to help the Lebanese diaspora reclaim their nationality and introduce the Lebanese diaspora more and more to Lebanon?
Yes, we try to do this more and more, but we were focusing first on working on this recipient, which is Lebanity.gov.lb. We are very happy that now it's running. Once you have all of this, then our duty will change. Our duty will become how to bring traffic to Lebanity and to help how to help the diplomatic corps bring more people to this. So this is when probably we should change our focus and our priorities to connect with organizations all around the world to help in this venture.
Wonderful. And for the Lebanese immigrants that don't have families in Lebanon, are there any projects or grassroots projects that would allow them to visit Lebanon?
Yes.
And to look
We
to
have,
Lebanon?
thank you for asking me this. 5 years ago, we started the Maronite Academy, which is an academy which is the concept of bringing youth, summer camps in Lebanon, youth not very, very young, I would say up to 30 years, or maybe 28 years, and we bring them to Lebanon, give them education about Lebanon. So we have a very focused curriculum to give them the real spirit of Lebanon, and not only the food and everything. So this is why we talk about the history. This is why we show the Lebanon that we believe in, a strong, deeply rooted, value-driven Lebanon.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You take them for free to Lebanon to be introduced to Lebanon, and what do they have to give in return?
Oh, first of all, here you have the president of this academy, Madame Rose Swayri. So we are a team here coming from Lebanon. I want to salute her. And I want to tell you that our academy does not ask anything from those except one thing, that they become our ambassadors in all around the world, the ambassadors of this Lebanon, not the Maronite Lebanon. Please don't misunderstand me. This Lebanon, the Lebanon that is value-driven, the Lebanon that is claiming back his children all around the world. So they become those people that will bring traffic to the request of citizenship.
And thank you very much for this answer.
Thank you.
So let me just repeat that for everyone. So the youth get to visit Lebanon for free, and all they have to do is campaign for a cause that they believe in America. Thank you again for this. Dr. Ray Hashim, welcome to the panel.
Thank you.
So let me first start by asking you, what motivated you to promote the Lebanese Community Center?
I will start first actually thanking everybody is here, the organizer, the panels, everyone around us, and especially His Excellency, Mr. Basile. And thanks everybody's being here. So you're all the source of inspiration to us. So what motivates me to work and build in communities around Houston or around the world is really my love and belief in Lebanon. Love and belief and faith can make things possible. The challenges is out there and it's huge. But when you believe in something and go forward and have a goal, objective, you reach it, whatever it is. Especially the Lebanese, our gene is built to conquer the world. Thank you.
Thank you. How did your love for Lebanon translate themselves into tangible means with which the Lebanese community could feel your presence and your contribution, either in the medical field or in the community surrounding you?
Certainly, as a physician, I work around the healthcare, and I look what's needed out there. So there's a lot of challenges, a lot of need, and that's why we start forming, associations. We formed the American Lebanese Medical Associations. I think a lot of you all heard about it. We have many objectives, but the main part and the main point of it to bring the talented Lebanese doctors around the world to really look and work and exchange ideas with the Lebanese physicians. Because in medicine, there's nobody know-it-all. It's teamwork, it's working together for better patients' life and better Lebanon for really many years to come. So what we have done actually is in American Lebanese Medical Associations, we build it for several objectives. Educations. Education is really crucial because, as I said, medicine is every moment changing. So to bring those exchange ideas from all around the world to Lebanon and see how it is work. So this is educations. We have done many conferences, many areas, not just in Lebanon, around the world. We have established in our American Lebanese Medical Associations a scholarship to those students. They need help, handing help to those students. But we look into all the medical university in Lebanon. We did not put our area in one university. All universities are equal. This is Lebanon. So we pick one student from each medical school and we grant them, a scholarship based on their merit and financial need. and the selection be done by the president or the dean of the medical school, is not by our association, because we don't know what is going on in each university. The director of that university and the director of the financial office can dictate for that. So that's the second objective we build. Third objective, to continue the education and building bridges for those Lebanese medical students and Lebanese doctors are willing to really come abroad and continue their education, higher education, as doing residency for the medical student and fellowship for the doctor and observership, anything they need. So we built that. We have many, many students. In the last 5 to 6 years, we have more than 500 students, and doctors came to the US and really for continuing their medical educations. And the last part of our success and action, we are doing actually humanitarian work. We have medical clinics go around to the underserved area and help anybody need help. So the goal here is to really have people in Lebanon have better life and to have success to medicine and community.
Thank you. Let me follow up this question and ask you, considering your experience in social activities such as providing and granting Lebanese students, medical students, free scholarships and internships in the United States, how can you encourage the Lebanese diaspora to adopt similar approaches in helping students in Lebanon on an individual basis, maybe?
When you put actually your serving heart and love into anything, the success is in God's hand. So I will tell anybody, if you want to do anything and to be successful, put your love, passion, dedications in anything you do. God will serve you. And leave your personal pride and personal power away. And also do action and leave the talking to others.
Thank you for those nice words. And a more general question, how do you perceive the effects of restoring the Lebanese citizenship for immigrants on Lebanon? Some may think that if there's more Lebanese abroad and they come to Lebanon, the unemployment rate might grow. What are your views on this?
Well, as you know, Lebanon have no boundary. By bringing the leaders in any field, not just in medicine, you brought and you make opportunity endless. So Lebanon have no boundary. The more you bring talent, the more you prosper, the more you have better Lebanon.
Thank you very much. Big round of applause, please. Mr. Mike Saikali, you're the chairman of the board of the Serious Council Foundation, and as I've mentioned, also director of the Bishop's University Foundation. Let me start by asking you, and you're a successful business leader and also a pillar of the Lebanese community in Montreal. And with a long-standing commitment to community service, are you ready to be committed to the service of your country, Lebanon, specifically for the restoration of the Lebanese citizenship to Lebanese immigrants?
Yes.
Great. That actually was a yes or no question.
Well, actually it wasn't, but I'm going to preempt you.
All right, go ahead.
Just a couple things I've got to say. My answer will be on a much more fundamental, practical area. First, I'm honored to be sitting what I think might be the next and only first female president of the United States. So I'm honored for that. Although I can never vote for you, I would consider moving. I do live in Florida as well. Practically speaking, I would, Ken, if you're back there, I think the answers that I'm going to give you will be far more relevant when you see, after you see this video. We have in Montreal a very mature community. But in that mature community, we have a lot of mixed marriages. So, unlike your situation, I'm married to a French-Canadian non-Lebanese woman. So our children, and there are many of us that are not married within our faith, have the challenge of not only attending church if they choose to, but there are so many challenges today for these young people that we have tried to develop a way of bringing them back, which eventually, Doctor, you will see how we've done that, so that they are more interested. Now, Minister Basile was in Montreal and visited a Cedars Home for the elderly. So we run 2 elderly facilities, and these facilities are for very ill people and intermediate care facility. They are wonderful facilities. I brought a video. It can't be played. I'll leave it at that. But we bring in our youth to come and volunteer. We serve 10,000 Meals on Wheels per year to 150 families. And every one of these meals, thank you, it's the kids. Every one of these meals is delivered by young children in our community of driving age, naturally, that have access to a car. And the shame of all this is when we go visit the elderly, what is incredibly sad is that these people are so lonely, they get 2 meals a day, 2 meals a week delivered to them, is they always invite the person, these young people that are coming in, to sit and talk with them a little bit. They're lonely people. And so by bringing some of these young people in, they're sensitized to our community, to the traditions that we have, and we have made a difference that way. Now, there's another side to all this. The work that we do is very difficult, but there's some good aspects to it. There was one woman who was living in one of these facilities, and she said to the director, the managing director, "I have a problem. I need to speak to the chairman of the board." She said, "Well, can I help you with anything?" She says, "No, this is serious." So they called me up. I rushed down to sit to this woman. She was in a dire situation. I was worried that there might have been some physical abuse. Anything could happen. She leans over. She wants to have a private meeting. She says, "Mark, Sanadi, I knew your parents. You have to help me here. Now I'm concerned. This has got to be really serious." I lean over again. I said, please tell me what it is." The chef, Sam, he's putting too much burgul in the kibbe. So along with some very difficult work, we have some wonderful moments as well. Ken, would you please play the first video, and then I'll be able to answer your questions. It'll make more sense.
All right, great. Thank you.
"50 years ago, Cedars took root at a kitchen table in Montreal when a Lebanese family decided to support families facing cancer as a way to make sense of the tragic death of Harley Shamandi, a 29-year-old son, brother, husband, and father. Harley's wife, Shirley, his father, Joseph, and legendary surgeon Dr. Edward J. Taba, together with key members of the community, set up a fund, which became the Cedars Cancer Foundation. Patron of the McGill University Health Center and a North American leader in championing cancer care, education, and research, Cedars' resolve is measured by the commitment to excellence and innovation of those who join the effort. Sarah Cook, at the age of 8, survived Ewing's sarcoma. She founded Sarah's Fund at Cedars with her parents. 15 years later, over $8 million have been invested in pediatric oncology. Gwen Nakos survived stage 4 bladder cancer. She established Cedars Can Support 26 years ago so that patients and their families would be able to draw on educational and psychosocial services, as well as humanitarian aid when needed. Cedars, people giving to people. In 2015, a dream was realized with the naming and opening of the Cedars Cancer Center. Now, multidisciplinary teams are better equipped to meet the needs of patients of all ages at every stage of care. Thanks to the latest high-tech equipment and an integrated approach to clinical care, research, and education. Cedars, going beyond. The Cedars Cancer Foundation stands solidly behind these talented and tireless healthcare practitioners and researchers. With over $50 million raised since 1966 and a new capital campaign on the cusp of being launched. Empowerment is Cedars' goal. Hope is its beacon. With the help of the Lebanese diaspora and people of all cultures and walks of life, Cedars is confident it will always light the way.
Now I'll answer your question properly.
Go ahead.
A portion of what Cedars does is it helps cancer patients. Yes, we fund research, we fund patient care as well, but it's also for the families. There are many families that are stricken by cancer that can't afford the taxi or transportation to get to the hospital, that can't have anyone accompany them when they want to buy, if a woman wants to buy a wig when she's lost her hair from radiation or chemotherapy. We have pet therapy, psychosocial, and in all these disciplines, we bring the young Lebanese to come and work at the hospital. Come and see what giving back gives. I've always said, giving back is a very selfish thing to do because it makes you feel so good. And that's what most of us who do good things really do a great job for that reason, is because we have the passion, as you've mentioned. You have to have passion in everything you do. So the issue is, that's part one of it. But I also said that we have a lot of mixed marriages. A lot of us don't know what our lineage is. One of the issues that I would hope we can find in Lebanon is someone to help families find out where they come from. I know that I came from Rashaya al-Wadi. Why? Because my father taught me, but I don't have grandparents. I never knew my grandparents. And I'd like to know beyond that how far the lineage goes. So I would say, how do we start? We start by getting our youth to apply to find out who they are, number one. Secondly, we have to make it easier for them to get there. There is no hub in North America to take a direct flight to Beirut. Nowhere. I mean, this is impossible. There are other airlines around the world. You can go to Paris, you can go to London, you can go to via Lufthansa, Air France, British Airways, you can go all around the world. North America doesn't have a direct route. Montreal should have and should be the hub for North America for people to take a direct flight and get there directly. So, I'm sure you'll have another question for me. The point is that it's a very slow process to bring people to come back to Lebanon. You know, Lebanon is one of the best kept secrets. You know, there's other cultures, they're advertising on our television. We get at the same stations you get in the United States. And come and visit our country. It's beautiful, our rivers, our lakes, our mountains. We hear nothing about Lebanon on a regular basis, so our children have no clue. To a great extent, it's our fault. But we also need the help from the Lebanese government to help promote Lebanon a little bit more in an assertive way so that our kids want to go there and be able to get on a direct flight to get there in the first place and learn about their traditions and history.
Thank you. Well, I've read your bio, and it says you're committed to both community service in both healthcare and education. Let's focus on education. How important do you believe is the Arabic language in terms of getting in touch with the new generation of Lebanese, specifically the youth that were born outside of Lebanon and may have never visited Lebanon before?
Look, that's of utmost importance. I mean, if you haven't been to Lebanon, you don't understand. You can't understand. The culture, the food. Now, there's adjustments to be made. I have to tell you, on my first trip about 15 years ago to Lebanon, I had no idea that people eat dinner at 10:30 at night, which is about the time I normally go to bed. So that was an adjustment. We have to have the ability in Lebanon to receive these children either through camps, either through some service where they can go amongst themselves and learn about their heritage. At the same time, look, we have camps here. One of the things that we as parents complain is we'd love to be able to expose our children to their own culture, to other Lebanese, so maybe they will marry one day. It's a hope, doesn't always work, and we all know there's limited involvement as a parent that you can take on that issue. But if you put them in an environment where there are more of them, it might just happen. So you've got to make it easy for them to get there, but when they get there, what are they going to do? They've got to be together, and you've got to make either some initiative or camps for them to be together. I'm talking from a practical basis, because we're running out of time. There's a dilution of the Lebanese in North America. And that's what we have to watch out for. Now, we can salvage that by getting them to meet more of their own people and to appreciate their culture a little bit more.
All right, thank you. And in your capacity as chair of the City Council Foundation, can certain programs be enacted to encourage Lebanese registration at diplomatic consular missions, and also certain programs that might encourage the Lebanese diaspora to reclaim their nationality? Can certain programs be established or enacted or put forth?
Look, that's a very complicated question that needs, that doesn't have a simple answer. But if we were able, just in our case, as the Cedars Cancer Center, because that's what it is, it's a hospital, and we created a relationship with Houston and perhaps in Lebanon with other hospitals. We shared information. And information goes a long way. Look, we have to fundraise. I'm on a $50 million campaign. We need money. But maybe other hospitals, and we're creative in how we raise our money, might have ideas that we haven't thought of yet. Shared information, shared technology, and the number one thing to get through to our people, especially the kids, is social media. We've got to jump on that bandwagon very quickly, because that's the only thing they pay attention to. And so shared information. I'd like to go to Lebanon with a delegation from the hospital, with hospitals from MD Anderson or Memorial Sloan Kettering, whomever it may be, and enjoy some conversation. We are in Montreal in conversation with a Lebanese Syrian hospital in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And we've learned a lot from them, and they've learned a lot from us. I think we need to do more of that.
Thank you very much. And thank you for being on the panel. About the issue of shared information, let me ask you, is there like a database for the Lebanese diaspora in North America? Maybe from your experience with working with the Lebanese diaspora, you might know if there's an answer to this question.
Look, this is a big task. We started it 10 years ago to build this big database. We have some leads toward huge databases, and we have one under hand today, but it's not clean enough, and we are working on it, how to clean it, how to clean this database. I guess what we are working on now is to use also, from a different angle, existing social media or like LinkedIn, for instance. If you just put a couple of families, known families, easy families like Haddad, like Khouri, like those like easy family names that are immediately connected to, or like 80% or 90% connected to a Lebanese family, you will find maybe with 15 or 20 family names, because we did this exercise, we reach 600,000 names on LinkedIn with 15 to 20 family names. Not all of them are Lebanese, but 80% are Lebanese, because there are some Jordanians, there will be some, but 80% are Lebanese. So this is one source. And another one is that we have a big data bank somewhere that we are working on cleaning, which is not an easy thing, but it's pure artificial intelligence.
Okay. Well, I personally hope that this database is shared with our ministry after it's cleaned out.
When it's cleaned.
Thank you. And well, to our special guest, Mrs. Siham Bazzi, who not too long ago reclaimed her Lebanese nationality. And when I first spoke to her on the phone, I remember congratulating her on reclaiming her Lebanese nationality, and there was like a surge of happiness and relief. Happiness that she got her nationality back, and relief maybe that I reminded her that she got her nationality back. Welcome to this panel.
Thank you. Bonjour. Bonsoir. قبل كل شيء بدي أشكر مسيو جبران باسيل لأنه بلي ما كان أبدا وصلت لي الجنسية، وأكيد كمان بدي أشكر جنرال عون فخامته، لأنه لو ما مضى الورقة بحياتي ما كنت شفتها على الورقة. thank you very much everyone. قصتي بلشت من زمان. أنا البابا just a brief خلق ب 1895. I don't even know my dad. I was a baby. هاجر على أمريكا when he was young like a lot of people after the civil war، وما رجع على لبنان لبعد ما صار عمره 65 سنة ليشوف عائلته إنه قرايبينه، وكان ماشي بالضيعة وشاف الماما بالشارع وقال بده يتجوزها وخلص إنه جوزها وانتهينا. I don't think he thought ever that having a child in Lebanon you cannot give them a citizenship. To him, he went to the state immediately. He got his green card, passport, work, whatever he needed. So my mother wasn't aware either. It wasn't an issue because he always thought, we're going to go to American school and eventually we'll go to the state and he'll do the Lebanese papers later. And I had one sister. Sadly, he didn't live long. He was ill and he passed away. And we were all good. Everything was good. And till when became clear, before the Civil War started, we were under my mother's records. Everything was, we are foreigners. It was, she's married to an American citizen, even though on the marriage certificate it says he is Lebanese. My dad comes from a village in Akkar called Kfar Harra. The first Tirbe cemetery in the village is the grandfather of mine. He's the first one buried there. Al-Mukhtar is the cousin of my dad, and he was Shbeen, my dad. Thank you, I can't remember Shbeen بالإنجليزي. So even Al-Mukhtar قرايبيني كل الضيعة is بيت البازي, and I'm almost the only one that has no papers. My sister married a Lebanese, so of course immediately she had the Lebanese papers.
Well, how did you hear about the nationality law?
Okay, it all started, I've been after it for 30 years. Anyhow, every year I go harass Louisara, they don't help me. They send me back. It's like, why do you want it? You know, you have an American passport.
That was before the law.
I know, that's before the law. So it all started, a lot of my friends saw on TV a commercial about the Project Roots. Everybody pretty much, so thank you, Madame Bustani.
We have Project Roots here on our right side.
مزبوط. وما في حدا بلبنان اللي بيعرفني إلا ما بيعرف إنه أنا وراها لهالشغلة. My WhatsApp was filled. Like Siham, you have to call, you have to check this place, you have to call them, whatever the case is. I decided not to even call. I got so excited. I got on a flight and went to Lebanon. And I'm serious because everybody's like, I figured, you know, before they change their mind. In Lebanon, 1 minute you have it, next day, political, you know, who knows what happened. So I ran over there and I still remember I called the office to just see where exactly their location, to just physically just go right there. And a lovely, lovely girl, I still remember her name, Marie, answered the phone. And she said, you don't even have to, hello Marie, thank her for me. She said, you don't even have to come, just give me your dad's name. And bear in mind, for 30 years, every lawyer in Lebanon, every government told me there's no record, he doesn't exist, we can't find him. I give her my dad's name and his mom's name, and when years he was born. Within 2 minutes, she tells me, what's my dad's record? I thought I was gonna pass out in the street of Beirut. It's a true story. The whole country couldn't find the record, and in one button, all of a sudden the record has popped up.
It appeared.
We invented it. We invented
exactly.
We invent names.
No, I love it. Every time, you know, instead of giving you a good solution, they're like, oh, you could have filed a lawsuit against your dad, but too bad he's dead. Like to reclaim back my sister. There was always whatever. So that was amazing, and she told me to just go straight to the Wizara. I went straight to the Wizara. This isn't a funny way. I don't mean it in a bad way. الشباب ما كانوا عم يشتغلوا نهارده بالوزارة. اليوم تعبانين.
بدك تحدد أي وزارة.
ما خليني محترمة حالي. هلا جيت هلا بيقشطونا إياها يا زلمة عود. قلت له طيب بليز بتعطيني رقم تليفون حتى اتصل اخذ موعد لانه مدام بستاني ما كنت موجوده اعطوني رقم الشخص اللي لازم احكي معه بالوزاره. قال لا ما عندنا رقم تليفون نعطيك اياه. بليز بكل دي اداره لازم يكون في رقم تليفون. اعطوني اسم شخص ما بنعرف حدا. شو بعمل؟ تعي على بكره او بعد بكره ليك يمكن يكونوا مرتاحين لسه شي يومين. انه انا بطرابلس عم اجي من الشمال على بيروت تو هم لايك نو بروبلم. جيت يومين على يومين انزل كل يوم على الوزاره وقالوا لي خلص تعي بكره. ورجعت دليت عليها وشفت شخص كثير he was very nice but قال لي ما بقدر اعمل لك شيء هلا لانه سياده الوزير لسه ما مشي له، وانه سوري يعني عذبتي حالك وجيتي، بس تلفني لي بعد شي سنه من امريكا ومنخبرك شو بيصير معنا. وقلت له اعطيني رقم تليفون، قال لا انه ما حدا حيرد وما حتعرفي، خلص انت بتجي مشوار تاني وبخبروكي. اكيد هيدي بتعرفوا ايمتى القصه يعني. فطلع المشوار على الفاضي، بعد ما تحمسنا ما طلع من امرنا شيء. رجعنا مثل الشاطرين على نيويورك. رجعت رحت على السفاره، سفاره بنيويورك، وبيجننوا قدموا لي كمان مره تاني طلب مشان يجربوا يجيبوا لي الاخراج الآلي.
قدمت عبر اي ويب سايت؟
قبل اول شيء على ما قدمت على انا الروتس لانه قال لي ما تعذبي حالك. بعدين رجعنا سوري، رجعنا بعد شي سنه سمعنا على ليبانيتي، اجاني التليفونات كلها يلا سهام لحقي حالك. رجعنا مره ثانيه دغري فتت على اونلاين. It was so easy, it was shocking. No, few buttons, whatever. Bear in mind, over 30, it was very easy. Seriously, thank you. But the fun part was, you send, it's supposed to go to a website, you know, an email, and you're supposed to get somebody saying, I received it. I kept getting rejected, that the server is down, and they cannot accept any email. And actually, Monsieur Gibran, انت كنت بالUN last year, at that time, I have sent every email to everybody in Lebanon. I even tweeted you. I don't know if you ever see that. Like, fix your email. Like, and this is frustrating. Like,
Lady on a mission.
وصلت التأمي للم, you know, سنتين وإنه حدا يرد بقى. And finally, I did it. I went to the embassy. I gave them the form, and I gave them a record of every person that named Bazi in my village. And I'm like, you go find my granddaddy, you know. And I called Mukhtar, and he's a relative of ours. And he called me and told me that the good news, he think they found the record, and he's going to the Amn al-Am, thank you, and he's taking some witnesses, and it's official. I told him, I don't believe you. When you get there, sorry يا جماعة، اللي بيعرف بشغل بيروت بيفهم علي، وخصوصا بذكر ورقة رسمية يعني. So نزل دليت فيها كل الليل، بتعرف على توقيت نيويورك على توقيت لبنان. قلت له بتحكيني بس كون بالامن العام، وحتى حكيت مع الامن العام واخذ حدثني انه ليتاكد انه هيدا بيي وجدي وهيدا. قال لي خلص بوعدك بشهر ونص بيكون عندك الجنسيه، ويا اهلا وسهلا. ما في شهرين، ثانك يو فيري ماتش. تلفن لي المختار وتارك لي على واتساب، تفضلي تعي على لبنان وطلعي اخراج العيد. So
Congratulations.
قال لي إذا ما فيكي ترجي حنبعث لك إياه على السفارة. قلت له بجمعة بكون بلبنان وبدي إياه شخصياً. وهلأ جيت أنا بأول سبتمبر، وأهدم شيء اللي صار فيني إنه ما بيقدروا يعطوني الهوية، بدها شهرين which is okay. بس قالوا لي بدي أخذ الباسبور، وأجلت شغلي بس ماني طالعة من لبنان بدون ما يجيني الباسبور. لأنه صراحة للبنانية أنا لفوت إلي 40-30 سنة بفوت على لبنان as a tourist عيب، وبجي على أمريكا بيتأهلوا فيني بالأهلا وسهلا. So enough, I'm so happy that you finally got it done. So I have it and I'm waiting for my هوية now.
I want to say to you congratulations
Thank
on
you.
your Lebanese
Thank you.
nationality. And did you get your passport stamped yet?
No, لأنه unfortunately فت بالأمريكاني. So هلا لازم تبعتوني على حسابكم على لبنان. Seriously يعني. I'm the most investor in here. رايحة جاية. I have to go now just to stamp my passport.
Hopefully we'll have a direct flight in the future.
ولك فداهم بدفع وبروح على راسي لبنان.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we hope your passion is contagious
Thank you,
to
but for
everyone
everybody
in North
really.
America.
Sorry. اللي ما عنده جنسية يروح يجيبها because you don't appreciate how important it is. عن جد ماني عم امزح. When you don't have it, you don't feel you're home. You're never home. You always feel like you're visiting. I was born there. خلقت هونيك، تعلمت هونيك، تعمدت هونيك. My own country kicked me out because I wasn't supposed to be Lebanese. I never gave it up. I've been in America. America has been amazing to me. And I had every opportunity I can imagine. But I never say, I'm always say, I'm never home. Lebanon is my home. Finally, I'm glad I can be buried with my mom and my dad home. And it's my only right. It's the only right I can get from you. Thank you.
Thank you very
So
much.
everybody is very easy. Go get it. Now
Yeah.
you're lucky. 2 seconds on the internet.
Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
testimony. And before we finish, we'll take maybe 7-8 minutes of Q&A. Oh, His Excellency, Mr. John Ibrahim.
Tonya, it's the first time we listen to you speaking as an American more than as a Lebanese. What's the advice you give to the Lebanese to be involved in American politics and to have a word to say in the American politics?
I would say start local. I mean, I alluded it a little bit. We have CEOs, we have professors, we have doctors. Your communities need you, and they need your leadership. I originally got in politics was for religious freedom, but I ran at the local level because I wanted a seat at the table, making the decisions that affects me and my family and my community. So that's politically, you can like politics or you don't like politics, but politically, that's how you make change. And Lebanese Americans have huge things to offer. I mean, your talents, your expertise, or the way my husband puts it, just your Lebanese way of thinking that's a little different. It could be a huge benefit for, and you need to think of your children, how you can be role models for your children, for them to later run for office. But thank you for that question.
Thank you. We also have a question in the front row on the left, if someone can get him a mic.
Thank you so much. Even though I left Lebanon about 40 years ago, but Lebanon never left me. For the first time ever, since I remember being part of the Lebanese diaspora, LDE emerges as a viable and a long-term, objectively planned, great idea. Now, I'm thankful for the current administration of President General Michel Aoun for ushering this great era under the guidance of our Foreign Minister, Mr. Bassil. Now, what can we do as Lebanese, the diaspora and the mother country, to make this policy as part of the permanent policy of the Lebanese state? Is there a way we can find a solution, a long-lasting solution, so that we can make this policy as part of the Lebanese constitution, so that no succeeding administration can overlook the importance of this beautiful and practical partnership between the Lebanese state and the diaspora? My second question is, if we ask community activists around the world the question, what is it that could mobilize the youth? Many of them, I'm sure, would say activities, activities, activities. So how about if we get the LDE being an umbrella, not organization? LDE to me is a suprastructure already. What can we do to empower LDE so that we could organize quadrennial, every 4-year pan-Lebanese athletic games in North America to mobilize the youth, so that we can empower the youth to be actively involved every 4 years in athletic competition? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I will start with the second one. That's not a bad idea, actually. Activities and projects. Projects unite also. So we should think of it, how to embrace sport and projects within a superstructure called LDE. First, to answer your first question, I guess in the speech, in his main speech yesterday, his key speech yesterday, Minister Bassil talked about al-ma'sasi, how to institutionalize this relationship in a better way. And one of his fifth objective of the year would be this. Probably LDE can be this organization or this structure, and to become a sort of a, maybe, I don't know if it's going to be, it should be more than an NGO, Minister Bassil, I am sure, but probably something within the public administration bodies, maybe a creation of a new body. We will leave it to Minister Basil, but I would want to tell you that there is this idea and this focus to have an institution.
Thank you. And we have room for
Excuse me.
one. I'm sorry, but we're running out of time. I'm going to have to take this question. We have room for one more question. Very briefly, please.
Hi, I'm Tom Abraham. I was born in Beirut, left at the age of 4. I was adopted by 2 American Lebanese. And, you know, this is the most amazing opportunity for our heritage to be exposed to Lebanon. And I just want to say something not to criticize, but just to enlighten. You know, I have 2 sons that are 27 and 25. They've never been to Lebanon, and I've tried to bring them there years after year after year. For one reason or another, we couldn't get them there. But in this audience here, when we have an opportunity to speak to the young generation, if we're speaking to them in Arabic, and I've been here for 2 days, they're going to be turned off. And I don't mean by not knowing the language. I mean that we are here to speak about embracing them, bringing into Lebanon, a country that is so fluent in so many different languages. But we're not speaking the language of the world. So how can we expect our young generation to come here? I was loving what you said. I didn't understand a word you said. But emotionally, I accepted everything you said. And I can tell you one thing, that I've had meetings. I tell you, I have meetings with every person in Lebanon of importance. And they've all said the same thing to me. When are you going to learn your Arabic? And I have to tell you, it hurts me so deeply that I am not capable of speaking my own language of my heritage. Yet, the possibility of me at this age, in my style, in my life, and how busy I am, it's impossible for me to learn my language. So all I am saying, respectfully, is that in this kind of an audience, that when we speak to the young generation, that we're asking to embrace our heritage, we have to be aware that most of them don't speak our language. And we are not going to be able to understand and appreciate what we all are trying to do here as a unit. So that is all really I'm trying to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Well, we're done with this panel. Thank you everyone for being here. And please, a big round of applause to our panelists. Thank you.